if we ever bring back Craig, we should have his dad be a judge.
Yeah, how'd you guys think I was getting away with all this shit? I get arrested every week.
How'd you guys think I was getting off with all this shit?
Right.
Yeah. He'd probably say something like getting off. Like,
you better not start back talking to me. My dad will send you to jail for the rest of your life. Have fun getting have fun getting porked in the slammer, dumbass.
He's not kidding either.
Yeah. You're gonna be the next Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, I always assumed his dad was like
his
dad was like rich or something.
Yeah.
Judges aren't really rich though.
Well,
maybe his mom's rich.
I mean, judges are pretty well.
I guess if he's like dirty, if he's bent.
Yeah. Well, oh yeah, like that one judge that was like sending kids to some kind of like boys' home or something for cash, for kickbacks. Then he got caught.
What do you need? Leverage on Judge Faden.
Oh man, but yeah, dude,
can you get him to talk? I'll get him to sing.
That Dahmer show, it's like I don't know, it wasn't bad. It was like they did a good job making it.
No.
But they did a good job making it, but I don't think they did a good job like making it. You know what I'm saying?
I just don't understand like why people want to even watch it. It sounds really depressing and sad.
It's
miserable.
Well, it's interesting because he's kind of like he's kind of like
folk hero.
No, not at all. Lord have mercy. No, he just like I don't know, based on like everything he said and everything, like he just didn't want to be like alone. But like, and like he had like really bad abandonment issues. So like he wanted, but like, and when he would like get together with guys, like he didn't like when they would like move. Like,
yeah, it pissed him off.
And like breathe and stuff. And like he was kind of, he was weird, right? Like his mom like was on like literally like the whole pharmacy of pills when she was pregnant with him, and then he like had like a surgery when he was 4.
No.
And they had to like put him under or whatever, and he was never the same after that. And then his dad would and then his dad was like looking for stuff that his kid was interested in, and that's just so happened to be like dissecting roadkill. So his dad taught him how to dissect roadkill. And then
like what, like taxidermy?
I don't know if he was actually making taxidermy. He was just like dissecting roadkill. Maybe he was making taxidermy, but they didn't show that. They didn't show any taxidermy that he made. Well, because the thing is, when they picked him up, right, when they caught him, he was just like, yeah, like he just told him straight up like everything he had done, and he was like, yeah, like, and then like, yeah, I don't know, it was super weird because he wasn't like, he just like had like a crazy, like this urge to like murder people when he was like with them if he thought they were like beautiful. Like he wanted to like keep them with him. He wasn't like
yeah.
It just like he lived in like cheap,
he was misunderstood.
I don't know if he was misunderstood. It's just like not your typical like serial killer shit. Like he wasn't really like, it didn't really seem like he was getting off on like the murdering. He just like wanted to keep them with him, and he would like dissect the bodies and like keep their skull or like take pictures. I don't know. It was weird. Like it wasn't how I expected him to like be, I guess, like compared to other serial killers. So,
yeah. He was pretty chill, like other than the killing and stuff.
I mean, he was just like a weird guy that like, and then like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was.
If it wasn't for all the killing, like he'd be pretty cool to hang out with.
No, I don't think so. I think that's kind of part of the problem that he had, is that nobody really wanted to hang out with him.
Oh, well,
yeah, poor Jeff. But then he was beaten to death in the prison shower. So. Oh
right, yeah.
Spoiler alert.
That's good.
It's bait because like the show, I was hoping it would just be, I don't know. Like it's when we go downstairs and watch stuff, like we put it in the AirPods, and like some shows, it's like if it's like a creepy show like that, it's like I don't like having it in my ear. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I can't, like it's like it's
you can
like
hear every like little
slice
and cut and moist.
I mean, they
droplet.
don't really go into very much of him like actually dissecting people. Like it's not. They don't show a lot of that gratuitous stuff, super gratuitous stuff.
Damn.
Which I appreciated because like I don't need to see that. Mackenzie wanted to watch it or whatever, which is the main,
Yeah,
which
of course she did.
I don't know if I would have. I don't know if I would have like watched it. After I watched the first episode, I was like, after I watched the first episode, I was like,
You ever just stare at your wife and just be like, man, I married a fucking psychopath?
Not lately.
Happens to me like 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah,
I mean, just staring at her, just looking at her.
Not lately, because if I look at her like that, she it's like she's got like heat-seeking vision or stuff. She like turns to me and she's like, so like I just think that I don't stare at her, you know.
I just think it's like really like, sure, like you got to make a show about Jeffrey Dahmer.
Like no, you don't.
You know, you gotta put food on the table for your kids. You know, you gotta hack it in the industry. It's tough in LA.
No, you don't.
I get it, but why do you need to cast sex appeal icon man? What's his name? What's the actor's name?
What's his name? I don't know.
Chris Terrio?
No, it's
Mike Judge?
Evan Peters.
Evan Peters, yeah, because he's known for like his sexiness.
No,
like,
he's not.
Girls like him.
What are you
like,
talking
he's like
about?
Yeah, he is. He's like he's an attractive man. Like he's like a guy that women find attractive.
He does like
he's known for that.
He looks like Dahmer in the show. Like
kind of a little bit.
He looks like him. Like, and the thing
he's
is,
not really creepy enough to be Dahmer.
I don't
like
know.
If you actually
man.
look at pictures and stuff of Dahmer, like. Evan Peters is like he looks like too much of a nice guy.
Well, that's the thing. Like Dahmer was nice to all these dudes right up until the second that he killed them, you know, or right up until they like made him.
Look at him; he looks like a fucking freak.
I don't know. I think he looks pretty.
I don't know.
I think he looks pretty creepy. Evan Peters looks pretty fucking creepy in the show. He doesn't look like I don't know. And the thing is, like,
I haven't seen the show, but I'm just like morally opposed to it. Like, why would you cast someone who's supposed to be like, you know, like this hot guy? Like they're basically like getting like the sex appeal element, and then they're like using that to market the show about a fucking sadistic murderer.
The thing is, like, he's, you know, I don't know. I didn't really get that vibe, like that they were like casting him as like sexy. Like Evan Peters isn't like
there's like thirst trap pictures on Instagram of like him like shirtless in the show and like women like being super into it.
Well, yeah, like he was like, cause like that's how Dahmer was though. Like he was like he like worked out and like, you know, was like wanted to be like appealing to these other gay guys.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I'm just saying.
But I don't know. Based on his casting,
the show is morally bankrupt.
No doubt about it. Like as soon as you're making that show,
they knew that like casting him would, you know, bring in the female audience. Like they know what they're doing.
I mean,
they're glamorizing like violence.
I think that real
world murder.
Who do you want them to cast?
I want them to cast like, you know, just some uglier dude who isn't known for like his sex appeal.
I don't
just some guy. I don't know, some unknown.
Personally, I don't think Evan Peters is known for his sex appeal, but like I don't know. And the thing is, like he's in like American Horror Story like all the time, right? Like he's like creepy to me.
Yeah, but that stuff isn't like based on anything real. Like there's no actual victims. Like the thing is, like this shit didn't happen like 100 or 200 years ago.
No, yeah,
it was only a few
like in the
decades ago.
90s, yeah. 80s to the
like
90s.
The victims, the families of the victims are still around, like still haunted by this, and it's like, yeah, just nonstop exploitative material.
Yeah,
it's like the #1 show in America right now. It's just like it's like so
it's super bait.
Gross
it's super bait. I totally agree. You know, and that's what I was saying before the fucking recording fucked up. Right? It's like I don't know if, you know, they knew that they could, but I don't think they thought about if they should. You know.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, because the thing is, like,
I think they know what they're doing. It's Ryan Murphy. It's his like outfit. The fucking American Horror Story guy.
Well, that makes sense that
they're the ones like producing.
That makes sense that he went with Evan Peters.
And yeah,
like they
right.
They have a history.
I mean, I just feel like these people just have no shame. Like they just don't care. Like they like, you know, pretend like they care. They pretend like they're like trying to humanize the victims or tell a different side of the story. But like really, they're just, you know, trying to line their own pockets because they know Dahmer stuff has the public interest and it'll get approved and get made. Like if they wrote their own original horror movie with, a serial killer or whatever, it wouldn't get near as much attention. So like, they think if they like faithfully recreate the events and, have the costume designer like design the exact same clothes and have the set designer take real photos of his apartment and faithfully recreate it, it brings some sort of level of like respect or artistry to the whole thing. It's like, no, dude, it's just gross. You're just like,
yeah, I mean, it's just like
you're
any,
just like, yeah,
it's
glorifying him.
It's just like any like true crime shit. I mean, like true,
but like it's not even a documentary. It's like it's like a written narrative with like made up shit, and it's just like,
I mean,
whole thing really disturbing.
Not every true crime thing is a documentary. Like there's tons of true crime stuff that's like, and it's like, and it's not like this is the first show that's been made about a serial killer, is it?
I'm sure there's been other ones. There's the Ted Bundy movie that came out with
right,
Zac Efron. That was another kind of example of like casting like a hot guy.
Yeah, to play
the killer.
That's an example of a hot guy as a killer. I think Evan Peters is creepy personally. So like it doesn't really register with me as him being like sexy. Like yeah, he's like kind of like a little bit fit in the show, but like that is just like how Dahmer was. I don't think that I don't think it should have been made. Period. So I agree with you on that. I just also like, and if it's going to be made, like the families like need to be like the families, like Dahmer's dad wrote a book and they sued him to get the money from that book, and they got it. Like so it's like,
wait, who sued who?
The families of the victims. They sued Dahmer's dad.
They sued Dahmer's dad?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he wrote a book about the whole thing and his relationship with Dahmer, and a judge granted them the money from it, and they also granted him all the money that Dahmer was getting sent in prison. Because the families didn't want Dahmer's dad to like make any money off of the situation.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I mean,
so I mean,
he probably didn't even actually write it. Probably like some
apparently he did. I think he wrote it like, I mean, it was like pretty soon after his son was convicted. Like it was like after he was convicted, but before he was killed in prison. So it was within the span of like a couple of years.
Right.
At least that based on what I know, but not like I'm an expert. Yeah. They also really the thing is,
why did you watch it?
Because Mackenzie wanted to watch it.
Why did she want to watch it?
I don't know. That's a good question.
You should talk to her about that. See what's up.
Talk to her about why she wanted to watch it. She's probably just gonna say she thought
I'd be interested to hear like.
She's probably just gonna say thought it would be like an interesting thing to learn about.
Why?
I don't know. Some people are interested in like true crime shit. It's a huge business.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge genre.
It's really huge with white women. It's like a real like if the demographics are like 80% white women when it comes to true crime stuff.
Is that?
I wonder why that is.
Where are you getting that statistic?
I've been reading about this because like I'm curious as to why these things keep getting made, and it's because they make money. We know that,
yeah.
And it's like, why do they make money? It's
right.
like, oh, they have this really reliable market, and it's like 70% white women. That's like their main.
First it was 80, now it's 70.
It changes a little bit, depending on the study.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm interested in some true crime stuff. This wasn't particularly interesting.
It's like I think women have this like fear of like
being murdered by a serial killer,
violence against them. Yeah, being murdered. So I guess it's kind of like cathartic in a way to kind of like live those fears out in a safe environment.
Yeah, right.
And then there's also like kind of the obsession element with like women liking the killers and sexually attracted to them, which is like why it's kind of frustrating to cast like Evan Peters in that role. It's kind of like leaning into that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
fangirls.
I think he was just like in my opinion, he was like the guy for that job. Like he did a really good job. Not that he should have done it. in my opinion, but he did a really good job. Like, yeah, like how do you like
Yeah.
as the actor, how do you like rationalize that to yourself? Like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna cash this check.
I know.
You know,
It's like so fucked
that's
up.
so fucked up. But like, I think it was the right call. Like,
Yeah, I hardcore judge
because like
Evan Peters.
because like the thing
for
is
that.
like he was attractive to some of the guys that he like lured back. You know, so like that I feel like that should be represented. You know, like if you're doing, you know, if doing like trying to do it right, like it's not like he was some like total, you know, it's the word uggo.
Yeah.
Because like it makes sense that, you know, he would have been able to get people to come back with him. Yeah, it's I don't know.
You see, they put it in the LGBTQ icons playlist on Netflix.
Fuck no, I didn't see that. Did they really?
They took it off like pretty quick, yeah, but it was like up for a few hours, like when they first released the show.
They're like,
It was like-
Netflix. They're I don't know, like they're not really. You know, I was gonna say they're not really making anything good.
It was like some intern, you know.
Yeah, God, yeah. You know, well, you know the thing is though, like I wish that I would have like they put that out right the show, and then they also put out like just the tapes, like a show that's just like the tapes of him confessing and stuff, and that I wish I would have watched instead. Because like I'm interested in like the whole situation and like him recounting and stuff. It's like, you know, but like the dramatization of it was like way less interesting to me than like just like
the reality,
the tapes of him like saying all this stuff, because they have him, you know, because he just confessed like everything as soon as they caught him.
Yeah.
So I wish I would have just watched that instead, but they didn't put it out until like after. I don't know. We were looking for something to watch. What were we watching before that? Oh, we finished finished Breaking Bad, and then we watched the Breaking Bad movie, and then it was like, oh, what do you want to watch next? And she was like, oh, this, and I was like, okay, I guess.
You shouldn't have let her.
I mean, I think she would have watched it, you know, solo if I didn't watch it with her or whatever.
Wow, she's really dedicated to Dahmer.
I think she's just interested in some true crime stuff in general. Like she was gonna go into forensic. She wanted to be like a forensic artist when she was going to school, but then she got.
Say what?
When she was like going to school, when she first like got into college, that's what she was going to do. That's why she was going to school.
What's a forensic artist?
Like there's in some capacity,
like they set up an easel like at the crime scene
in some capacity, there's art that has to be like sketched out in like in some capacity. I don't know the exact application.
Oh, like the kid gets kidnapped and then he gets then he gets freed and he has to just describe his kidnapper type thing.
That is one. That's one example of it, I think.
That's cool.
So she has like that interest, like just in general, like.
Yeah. Did she watch Dexter?
Forensic sketch artist. Yeah, they do.
She probably watched Dexter.
Yeah, she watched Dexter. And then she named her dog Dexter.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. I'm just realizing how much of a psycho Mackenzie is.
Yeah.
I didn't realize until just now.
Yeah. I'm already there. But yeah, she wanted to.
Shit.
Yeah, she wanted to be a forensic, you know, sketch artist or whatever. And then like her first week, her then boyfriend like lit up a joint in her dorm room, and then like he had like mushrooms there, and then like they came and like they busted her, and like he like left her with all the shit. So there, and like yeah, like the guy that like one of the guys was like, oh, you know, he was like, oh, you know, yeah, like you're what are you going to school for? And they were like, she was like, oh, this. They're like, oh yeah, well, like one of the cops was like, oh yeah, well, good luck with that after this. Because you can just have like nothing on your record, you know, if you're trying to do any of that stuff professionally. But so she didn't have doing that.
Well, did she catch a charge? Like,
it wasn't.
There was a shit on her record?
She didn't catch a charge. she didn't get charged because they
White.
they paid.
Nice.
They paid, first offense, white, etc.
Rich and white. Yeah.
So she didn't actually catch a charge, but could have. But it's like on, you can you could still see it, like that she was like, that it like happened, like the record of it still exists, and apparently that's even too much, even if you didn't actually catch the charge.
Maybe you could get Noah on that. He could do a little hackaroo.
Little hackaroony doony.
Help her out.
Little hackarooski. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want her to have to give up on her dreams of sketching
kidnappers,
horrible crime scenes, and kidnappers.
And stuff, yeah.
I know there's like the people who do the art of the courtrooms. Like is that similar?
That's a different. That's a different.
Like adjacent
thing.
to that.
That's a different thing. I think.
Why do they do that?
Because
what's the point? Why do our tax dollars go to some artists sketching people in the courtroom?
Because cameras aren't allowed. And I don't think it's. I don't think that's like a tax funded thing.
It's not.
I don't think so. I think
who pays for it?
I think like
they just do it for free.
I think it's like somewhere in the journalistic field.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm not an expert on that.
It's
either.
It's like this person, it's like you don't even have to be there to do it. It's like, yeah, you know what a courtroom looks like. You know what people look like, and they wear suits.
Yeah, right. I mean,
the most boring art.
It is funny though. The one that the lady drew of, I don't know how to say your name, Ghislaine or whatever, Jiz Maxwell. Just like stare.
Jiz Maxwell.
I don't know how to say her fucking name, like Ghislaine, or I just call her Jiz. So,
yeah,
it's not like the lady deserves any respect. So, yeah, it's like like she's just like staring at the sketch artist, like also sketching her. So like there's possibility for goofy shit like that, I guess, with that profession. I don't know. Yeah, like what do those people do in their free time? Or like in like their, like if there's not like a big court case going on, like are they just sitting around? Like what's the how many of those artists actually are there?
They're probably doing caricatures at the mall.
Yeah, right.
Face painting.
Yeah. They're traveling with like a Renaissance fair.
They're part-time clowns. yeah. They're in the Renaissance fair circuit.
Man, yeah. Renaissance fairs are funny because it's like carnies but like medieval.
Yeah, they take their shit really seriously too. It's like that time I went to the magic show in LA. Like there's like this mansion.
Oh yeah.
That Brian took me to. Did I tell you about that?
Yeah.
And they were like hardcore magicians there. Like they were really serious.
Yeah, it was
their
like,
craft.
It was like I think that's
so stupid.
I think that's what the the Magicians Alliance is based off of in Arrested Development.
Yeah.
Like Joe he like starts
it,
and like their whole thing is like they they blackball any magician who like reveals magician secrets, and then he reveals secrets.
Yeah. Yeah, that show's so good because like magicians suck like really bad. Like yeah. I learned that when I went to that event because like Brian was into it and he like invited me.
Right.
And I was like, sounds weird, but okay, I'll go.
Yeah, like I'll go.
And we went and magicians were doing tricks and stuff. I'm like, you're like a grown man. Like it was like there were no kids here. It was crazy. Like everyone was drinking alcohol and like I was like, what's going on? Like yeah. I'd rather be doing anything else.
Yeah, it's the only magician that I would go and see is David Blaine. Because he's just
I don't
crazy.
think I'd even go see him. It's stupid.
He's just crazy.
It's just dumb.
He's not like doing magic though. He's just doing like
yeah. He just does like stunts. Basically.
It's like stunt based magic. Like the thing is like the magic that he's doing. It's like I don't know. It's just like I don't know. His attitude about it is also part of it. Like he's not like, ooh, I'm some like spook, I'm some magician, like respect me. It's like, oh
yeah, I hate the attitude.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, I think that's the part that pisses me off. Like when people think they're cool.
Yeah, historically that does piss you off.
It pisses me off.
Yeah,
dude.
I would like to go see.
I hate when people have like undeserved confidence.
Dude, it's so funny when David Blaine like goes on like shows that he like Conan or something, you know, like if he's been on there before, because they like he fucks with
He's
it.
like he like eats a tire.
He like fucks with them like so
He'll, like,
bad.
eat a bicycle in front
He
of
fucks
you.
with them so bad, like you know, like when he was getting everybody like put like spikes through his hand and all this shit, and like he's just putting the spike through his hand, like it's not like a trick. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like he's like having like Jimmy Kimmel like push it through his shit, and like then he comes back and they're like, oh god, like. He's like, oh, I've got a surprise for you. They're like, oh God, like please, like don't like you can see them like actually get like fucking
Yeah, they're genuinely terrified.
like very very nervous about like what he's going to have them do to him. So I can respect that. I bet his show in Vegas is crazy. I bet it's nuts. That's something that I'd like to see. Like out of any Vegas show, like that is probably something that would be like cool to see. Or
did you see the new
Cirque du Soleil? That'd be cool too.
Did you see the new Elvis movie?
No, I haven't watched that yet. There's so many movies to like that like.
Oh, it was really good.
There's so many movies to like watch. Yeah, it's just like I just don't have time to like watch like.
You got time for 10 hours of Dahmer? I think you can watch the Elvis movie.
We watched, but I don't want to watch a movie fucking 1 hour at a time.
It's what you got to do, man.
What? No.
It's not ideal.
No, I'll just watch it. You know, I'll just save up all that shit and like, you know, I don't know. I've been like, I've also just like not really been feeling like watching a movie. I don't know. Like, it's like,
Well, there haven't been that many good movies.
It's like, I want to see.
When they do come along, you know, you got to check them out.
I want to see.
Like the Elvis movie is definitely
I want to see
good.
that George Miller joint. I'm also just like not that interested in Elvis. Just like as like a person.
Yeah, it's not yeah, I wasn't either, but it's good, directed by Baz Luhrmann.
It's a good movie, I bet. Yeah, Baz Luhrmann.
It's super trippy. Like there's really not even like that much Elvis music in it. Like it's his music, but it's like remixed. It's not just like straight up. It's really not your typical biopic. It's not like your
just
fucking like Queen biopic or the Freddie Mercury one they did.
Yeah.
And
the
like,
thing is, like
the Rocket Man one.
I wasn't really expecting it to be like your typical thing with Baz Luhrmann at the helm, but like I also don't really like Baz Luhrmann.
Yeah, I think his stuff's like really cool. Like it's really engaging, like visually and like auditorily. Like the way the picture and sound sync up is really special. It's kind of like Euphoria. It's got that same like kind of music video, like long music video vibe.
Yeah, like
where they'll have like there's a shot in the movie where Elvis and his manager, I think, are on like a Ferris wheel together, talking, and then there's like a split-second shot of like the entire Ferris wheel, like from like far away, like straight on.
Yeah,
and then it like the camera starts spinning, and it turns into like a record. And like it transitions into a record spinning, and it's like the amount of time and like effort to like set up that shot for it's literally like so quick though,
right?
Like, and that's just like one example. It's like it's so like rapidly cut throughout the entire thing, where it's like they do these really kind of like difficult shots, but then like just move on.
Yeah,
it's really impressive
from a filmmaking perspective. Like I can definitely like appreciate like the craft, you know, his craft, but like I didn't like The Great Gatsby. I think that movie is like as a movie, I think that movie is like really mid.
If you don't like The Great Gatsby, then yeah, you probably won't like Elvis. I think I love The Great Gatsby.
That movie is just like, I don't know. It's so mid. I don't know. Like it's a cool like movie to like I watched that movie one time and I'm like,
it's
okay,
so funny.
Like I watched it. Yeah, it's funny. It's just not like a good like I'm not really watching like a movie though like for the things that like one thing that he did do that I did like was the Get Down on Netflix. That was good.
Oh yeah, that was really good too.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
I like that.
I should show a list of that.
It was like he like toned it down, like his like normal shtick or whatever. Like I'm not big on Moonlight.
It wasn't as extreme. They probably didn't have as much of a budget to like pull that off every episode.
Yeah, right.
Like to maintain that style is probably really expensive.
Yeah,
you
know, so it's like Moulin Rouge. Like I'm not big on that movie at all. I'm not big on that movie at all. So
I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, it's a movie. You know, it's available for to stream on demand, I imagine. Rouge, Moulin Rouge. Yeah, that's a movie. Yeah, I don't know. That movie like Mackenzie really likes that movie, and I'm just like, I don't know. Baz Luhrmann's just his like
Yeah, Mackenzie would probably like Elvis.
yeah. Her parents really liked Elvis. It's I don't know. It's just like Baz Luhrmann plus like a character that I'm not super interested in. It's like, you know, I'll watch it. I'll watch it at some point. I'm not saying it's, you know, I don't think it's worth watching. I just like, you know, if I have other stuff to do that I'm more interested in, I'm gonna do that. What was something that was really good recently that I didn't expect to be was that Cyberpunk 2077 thing that they put on Netflix. That was good. It was like crazy. It was like super.
What is that?
It was like super nuts. Cyberpunk Edge Runners, I think is what it's called.
Is it a show or a movie?
It's a show. Yeah, it's like a animated show. The style I thought was cool. Like visually, it's like really like, I don't know. Some like animated, like especially anime stuff that they make for Netflix is like really trash, like the visual style of it. But I think they had a good style.
Yeah.
They got a good style for this, and like the story was like good. Like it's like brutal as fuck, and like the music I thought was good. Yeah, I don't know. It was like I enjoyed it. I haven't finished it, and the episodes are short. They're like 22 minutes or something. But it's good. Like it was like engaging and entertaining, I thought.
It says the show is gritty and explosive.
I would say it is definitely explosive. Gritty. Yeah. You know, I would agree. You know, I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not like a big animation guy.
Yeah, right. It's really just like the story for me. Like if the story's good, like I can get behind it. Like if it's it's an engaging story that like hits kind of the notes I'm looking for. I also did play the game, which was like one of the most bait games ever. Actually, it was that game was so fucking disappointing because it was like
Oh, it's based on that game.
It's not based on the game. Like it takes place in the same world. You know, but it doesn't like.
I see. Yeah, I see. It's like the same font and
it doesn't like
logo.
carry over. Like I mean, like the characters or anything. Like none of the. There's you know,
that game sucked. Like they were hyping that game up for years, and then it finally came out and it was terrible.
Yeah, they just released it before it was done. You know, it was bad. It's like okay.
It might be better now.
It's like okay now, but like the thing is, the campaign was like it's crazy because like the campaign is like it's really dope. Like there's moments in it that are like really cool. Like it's engaging. Like it's like crazy. It's like really enjoyable. Like the bones of a good game are there, but it's just like 50% or maybe 30% of like the game that should have been there is there. Like the campaign was like really short compared to what you would expect. And like you could like there were parts of it that were like, wow, this is like the best game I've ever fucking played. Like this is like the most lit shit that I can think of.
Yeah, I've seen like people running it on PC and like upping the graphics and upping like the NPC count and stuff because like on the Xbox it's like there were like 5 people in the city. Like,
oh yeah, no, on the
it was very like dead.
On like they should not have released it for the current like the old generation of consoles. I played it on my PC, which has like which has like the at the time it had like the best graphics card that you could get. So and I kind of got it to play that game specifically because I was like really looking forward to it because that company made The Witcher and I really enjoyed The Witcher, and that game if it was like Cyberpunk but like the same like scale of The Witcher and like quality, it would have been great, but it just wasn't, and it was like a real bait and switch. I still had an okay time. It was just like I don't know, like ever since then like I just like I don't think I'll ever be like excited for like another game again because like I was actually like really looking forward. I was like really looking forward to that game, and then it was just like total bait. Just because like I felt like the story, like there are parts of the story that are like really good and like interesting, and then like they got Keanu Reeves and his performance was really good. There's it's such a mixed bag because like there's moments where it's like wow, this is like a really amazing thing, but then like outside of all those moments, it's like, oh, like, is this shit in my bed? Like, so
right.
But and I was expecting kind of like mediocre things from the show that they made, but it's good. you know, I actually thought it was pretty good. And it's nice to.
Did you see the Secret Life of Super Pets?
Didn't watch that yet. Honestly, it's on the list. You know, it's on the list. I was trying to think.
Yeah,
Like
it's,
I really haven't been like watching like hardly anything. Like we watched Dahmer like over the course of like multiple weeks, and we're not even done with it. Because like the thing is, like I'm not interested in watching it.
No, yeah,
at all.
Well, it's been tough out here. It's been pretty dry, other than House of the Dragon. I mean, there's not much content.
House of the
good
Dragon
out there right now.
Yeah, there's something else. Damn, isn't there another?
I mean, I'm trying to put some schlork in my gork.
Oh well,
every night,
well,
it's just like,
well, Lord of the Rings.
Fuck. Well, that's trash.
Yeah, haven't watched any more of that. The last episode came out. The last episode of the first season is out now, so I can officially watch it. I'm
not sure if I'm going to watch it. I don't think I will.
I will.
It's pretty bad.
I will watch it because I can't really have an opinion about how trash it is. I feel like to the level that I am satisfied with, unless I like really watch it and then can like just totally unleash my load. You know, my like big steaming.
I feel you.
My big steaming.
Yeah,
shit
they came out with some like
on anybody that says
article
that it's, like,
a couple
not
weeks
bad.
ago, interviewing the showrunners, and it was kind of like this like saving face article about how like, yeah, you know, we know season 1's pretty slow, but just wait until season 2.
Like, that's not the problem. like that is the problem.
Just
but, like,
wait. Season 1 was the build up. We needed to get past
Right,
season
right.
1 to really get to the good stuff.
Like if you guys didn't realize, we're edging you for an entire year.
They have no
prepare to be
experience. The showrunners have literally zero experience on like directing or writing. They only got the show because they had like the longest like plan. Like out of all the people they interviewed, like hundreds of teams like Amazon interviewed to like to be the showrunners.
Yeah.
Because like they were gonna make the show no matter what, you know, no matter what.
Yeah, come
like
hell or
creative
high
force
water.
was behind it. They were just like, we got to find a team to like lead it, and like these guys had like this like 16 season like plan, and they're like, oh, okay, sounds like you guys know what you're doing.
Yeah, you guys really
like
understand the mythos.
You don't really know how to like drag it out. Yeah,
Fuck.
and that's what we want.
Oh, for
we
the love
want
of God.
just something that's just
So,
gonna be around.
Like, did the first season cost like $1 billion or something? Is that or am I just is that like Looney Tunes?
I think that's including they spent like 250 million on just getting the rights, and then 750 on making the show and marketing. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well, because like how much is the second?
Like what I've heard is like it costs like 950 million total or something.
Damn, that's like one Alex Jones.
Yeah, they could have solved all of Alex Jones's financial hurdles instead, but they chose to make that show.
Oh man,
damn.
They really.
I actually would have preferred the money had gone to the Sandy Hook victims. That would have been a better use of that money.
Yeah, definitely, no doubt about that.
Definitely, because they're not actually gonna get that money. Like Alex Jones is broke.
I mean, he's not broke, but I don't know if he's got that.
I mean, he is now.
Well, yeah, 100%. Especially, it's like, yeah,
After
the
that.
first judgment. He was like, yeah, I can't even pay the first judgment, you know, and then like they hit him with like the, you know,
They fucked him good.
like, yeah. I mean, he's, you know, I mean, the thing is like he'll just like squirrel away his money in like places where they like can't access it. If I had to guess, because like his, I mean, is it? No, it's not. They should get him for every dollar, every penny, every red nickel.
No, it's just nice. It's nice that those types of places exist. You know, it's nice to hear.
It's reassuring.
Yeah, it's reassuring. If I ever get super rich, I know I can hide my money from the government effectively.
Right. Well, and the thing is too, like, I don't think he'll ever run out of, like, I don't know. I don't think he'll ever be destitute because when he needs money, like, he just like asks. Did you see the Channel 5 interview with him? It was pretty good. You know, if he needs money,
I saw clips from it.
Yeah, if he needs money, he just like asks his like followers to like give him money, and like they do. Like, you know, they'll just like send him crypto
They love
and shit.
him.
It's like he's like, I need to keep marching. I need to keep the fight going. Dude, our buddy Lambo does the fucking best Alex Jones impersonation. Like, not just like with the voice, but the shit he says too. Oh my god. Oh my god. It is so funny. I want to get him on here one of these days.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, Lambo's he's a real treat. But yeah, man.
He just be in character as Alex Jones the entire time.
Right. Yeah, so we've got a guest today.
We'll just say we have Alex Jones.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Let's see. What else? Have I been watching?
That'd be
anything
cool.
else? It's weird because like there's so much shit, but like I feel like there's nothing good to watch. Like.
Well, there's still good stuff, but it's like, you know, not like coming out currently. It's like probably old, you know.
Right. Yeah. I just mean like there's nothing right
Like,
now that
came out a
like
few years ago.
there's such a volume
There's
of
nothing
stuff.
fresh coming out.
Yeah. There's such a volume of stuff coming out, but like none of it's like reaches that level of like, oh, this is quality. What did the Red Letter Media guys have to say?
Well,
about,
yeah, House of the Dragon.
What did the Red Letter
About
Media?
Dahmer?
Yeah, about Dahmer.
I don't know. I watched their video about it, and they seemed to think it was okay.
Sounds pretty mid.
It's like it took place like, you know, in their town, so I
Oh,
think that's
in
the
their
main reason
town?
they were interested in it.
Oh,
Milwaukee.
Oh yeah. Oh right, that's right. Yeah.
Like they like go to the same like hardware store to get like film supplies that like Dahmer went to buy shit for his victims.
Oh wow. That's
yeah,
big.
and like, you know, their old studio used to be like across from the bar that Dahmer picked up his victims at. And shit
Oh,
like
are you
that.
kidding? Are you serious? Wow.
So yeah, it's kind of like this Dahmer thing kind of looms over the town.
It's like they watch they'll do a whole video on that, but like not on the Batman.
Those bastards, dude.
Fuckheads.
I'll never forgive them for that.
Fuckheads.
Like they just got it in their heads. It's okay. People just aren't like fans of Batman like I am. Like they just see him as like, you know, another superhero. And
Right.
just like,
He's
oh,
not just
fuck
a
superhero
he's
movies.
not
Like,
just
I
another
get it.
superhero though. He's the superhero.
But he's not just another superhero.
Right.
Yeah, he's the best.
He's like the apex superhero because he's not really like he's not like super, you know. He's just a hero.
Yeah, it's just like, it was just a really good movie, and it just, you know, I wish they had talked about it. At least. I mean,
Yeah. Maybe they should have
I'm
got.
like obsessed with that movie now. It's my favorite. Did I tell you it's my favorite Batman movie?
I believe you.
It's the best, dude.
Right,
I've been watching it over and over again.
Because it's because it's not like I can see why it would be your favorite, right? Because it's not grounded like Nolan's movies. It's like actually like him as like it's him like as he ought to be portrayed, you know, in film.
Yeah, it's good because it's like the best of both worlds. Like you kind of have like grounded aspects, but it's also like takes place in this like fantasy world,
Right.
where it's almost like Gotham is depicted as like this like fairy tale, kind of dark fairy tale place.
Right.
Which I really appreciate. I feel like they really understood you have to capture like the soul and feel of the city. The Gotham is its own character.
Right.
And they really nailed that. I feel like no other movie. I mean, the Burton films did a good job with that, but those are like super corny. Like they're not.
Yeah, like Gotham was a character in that movie,
like
but
tone.
it was kind of like that whole movie is just like a sideshow act or something. I don't know. It feels like it belongs
Yeah,
under
it's just
the big
like really,
top.
really over the top.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah, watching those movies now, it feels. Yeah, it feels so like just goofy. Whereas, I think they really smartly went with it in like this kind of like real like kind of like dark kind of approach where, you know, the way they're doing all the villains and the way they're doing the Joker, it's similar to the Nolan thing, but it's more it's more stylized like visually.
Right. Like the comic book elements are still like kind of included, right? Like it's, you know, because you can't go full comic book, right? Because then you have a Burton movie. But it strikes the right balance between including the fantasy and the more fantastical or like fantasy, you know, parts of it, but while still remaining grounded enough in the real world where it's like, oh, like shit, like this is like connects with me like on like a normal level. I don't know.
Yeah, I really like how they portrayed Batman as being like really emotionally broken too. Like this is the first time I feel like he's been portrayed as this kind of like outsider.
It's like angry.
He's has like trouble connecting like emotionally.
He's like angry, sad. Really like angry. Leave me alone, Bat.
Yeah. Whereas like the Nolan Bruce Wayne, the kind of the Christian Bale, he was more like James Bond. He had a really good handle on his emotions. He was just like, yeah, this is my mission. This is what I'm doing.
Right.
Like I'm very suave and cool.
Right. He was driven, but not like
but I'm also a badass.
not to the point of like breaking himself mentally in the same way that like Robert Pattinson Batman did.
Yeah, and I liked elements that they included. They kind of updated the mythology of Batman a bit, which is I think important to kind of keep the character going. Like basing him in the city makes more sense. I like that update of he's got a penthouse and the Batcave is kind of like an abandoned subway, like under the penthouse.
Right. He's centralized,
like under the building.
He's centralized.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like how they introduced the idea that his mother had like schizophrenia or like had some sort of mental like illness, like she was diagnosed with some sort of like shit that made her crazy.
Like everything wasn't hunky dory.
It kind of implies
in the Wayne's World, you know.
Yeah, it kind of implies that like Batman or Bruce might have inherited some of those characteristics from his mom, like because most people who go through a tragedy, like watching your parents get murdered in front of you when you're a kid, like they wouldn't go this crazy. Like, yeah, it's really sad and fucked up, but most kids would probably like move on. You know what I mean? Like it would be, you know, a horrible thing in their memory forever, but I feel like most people would still like live like semi-normal lives after that.
Well, I mean, there's no way he could live a normal life. He's like a billionaire.
Yeah, but
yeah,
it kind of explains,
like
it adds like a little more detail to like
it's
why his brain, like he's just so obsessive, like he just is obsessed in that moment every day. Like he's never gotten over it.
Yeah, I wonder.
It's like still fresh.
I wonder how much of those character traits, or how, you know, what percentage, like how those character traits will progress in the next film. You know, I wonder if they'll. I wonder how much they'll drop of that. You know, and like kind of. I wonder if they'll be like, okay, we've done, you know, the angry sad bat. Like now he's like more leveled out. You know, I wonder like what kind of balance they'll strike with his growth.
I'm really interested to see where they take it too. Like. Yeah, I think it's really exciting, to see like what they do with it in the future. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Yeah, I'm glad that that, you know, we're not getting any more Ben Affleck ones, because that character was just like, there was no character. It was just like he was like a hollow piece of foam. There wasn't anything to him.
That shit was going nowhere fast.
Yeah. It's like, oh, like, what's the most interesting, you know, in Zach's mind, it's like, what's the most interesting thing we can do with Batman? Like, put him in the apocalypse, and he kills, and he's over it.
Right.
He's going to kill the Joker.
Like,
and he curses. He says, fuck.
Like, who gives a fucking shit about all that? Like, all this, like, high...
He has to fight Superman in the apocalypse.
All this, like, super... Oh, God, I'm so glad that they did not, like, end up doing that whole... like shit verse or whatever that he had planned. Like, what a blessing, because like it, like, who gives a fuck about all this like highfalutin like superhero shit? Not me.
Yeah, I just want Batman to like just take on a villain like every movie, like just like villain of the week,
just like a good like a good villain of the week type thing. And like I don't know, like I don't know. Like and the thing is, it's interesting because it's Batman, right? And he's doing detective shit. You know, like that, like the detective shit really makes the movie like engaging. Whereas like with other superhero movies, it's like Thor's not a detective. Like he's just like, no. You know, eventually he's gonna punch the guy hard enough to win. You know, like or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Batman has to be like clever. He has to like uncover information and like, he has to like use his intellect to win.
Yeah, there's something afoot.
He can't just defeat anyone at any time.
Right.
Yeah, I liked how vulnerable they made him, like, in the movie. Like, he fucks up, like, constantly, and he's, like, you know, doesn't have all his shit together, and he's kind of, like, afraid and kind of, like, unsure of himself in certain areas. And, I think that's really key to, like, empathizing with him. It's kind of a hard character to empathize with, like, if you go the whole, like, he's a god route, like how Zack Snyder was portraying him.
Yeah, they
kind of just makes him, like, really impersonable.
They really humanized the Bat in that movie, which, you know... then the character resonates. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard for Thor to resonate with anybody, right? Like, who's Thor? You know, like who's like, oh, like,
right. Or he's just whatever they need him to be at that time
Thor,
in the story.
Yeah, I'm just using Thor as an example, but it kind of applies to any Marvel superhero. Like, the thing is, like, I don't like okay, like the Marvel stuff was cool up until the end of the first generation, right? Like the end of like okay, they defeated Thanos, but after that, like I don't really see it like having like a connected universe of like, oh, these characters just like progressively go until the actor is like done with the character. Like I don't see that as being like a good like medium for telling stories anymore. I don't know. Like it, like with Batman, right? It's like, oh, they'll do they'll do three movies
weird
with this Batman, and then it's like, okay, we're done with that Batman,
and then they'll switch it.
Right.
It's like James Bond or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Or like the Doctor, like Doctor Who.
Right.
Kinda.
Right.
But
like,
yeah, it's weird how they're really stuck on the same cast. Like, I mean, they've done recasting before, like Mark Ruffalo and Rhodey, like War Machine, but like, yeah, like they're really committed to like not recasting like I guess big main characters like
right
now at this point. Like
right.
the Mark Ruffalo thing kind of happened early on,
and so did the War Machine thing, right?
But yeah, they're not gonna. They don't want to recast Iron Man, or they don't want to recast like Black Panther.
Right, like it's
like
yeah.
It was strange to me how what's the actor's name? Who played Black Panther?
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Chadwick.
Oh,
yeah,
Chadwick Boseman. I was thinking. I was thinking of the other guy. His first name starts with a C.
It's strange to me that he died, and then like they were like, oh, like their first thing is like, oh, like let's write a story where he died. It's like, wouldn't you just recast him? Like,
what?
Don't you want the character to continue?
What?
Existing like in your universe?
Like,
and
so
like
this movie that's gonna come out, this Black Panther movie, like he dies in that movie.
Yeah, he's dead.
Like, yeah, he's dead in it, but he doesn't die in it, or does he? I guess we don't.
He dies off screen, so they're mourning him at the beginning of the film, like from the trailers.
Like, why?
Based on what I've seen in the trailers.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't watch the trailer because like, I don't know. I mean, maybe I should start watching the Marvel trailers because like I don't care about those movies at all.
Yeah, it's just strange. Like, I don't know, if I was, Chadwick Boseman, I wouldn't want the character to like die with me. Like, it just seems like an important character.
Yeah, it also seems like a really strange move because like Black Panther is like their like, I guess they're thinking like, oh, we've got Anthony Mackie, to hit kind of like that demographic, but like Black Panther, recasting him as like having Black Panther.
What demographic is that?
Like what's the word I'm looking for here? Like a superhero that's like has representation for like African American guys.
Oh, okay.
What?
Gotcha.
What were you thinking?
I was just thinking like, something not racist, but
well, it's not.
Whatever.
Well, they're obviously trying to diversify, like, and like make like a superhero for like every person, like every different like, like demographic. I mean, you don't think so?
I can't believe the racist shit coming out of your mouth, Mason.
What? It's not. That's what's racist.
You better stop while you're ahead.
What's racist about that?
Can't believe you, Mason.
Like Black Panther is like he's like a black guy, right?
I don't see color.
What the hell? Like Black Panther's character is like a black guy, so like I feel like
he's just a man to me.
I feel like making him
his race has nothing to do with it.
Like he's like literally from Africa. Like I guess I shouldn't say African American. Like he's like an African guy.
Yeah.
Like and like it's great to have.
Yeah, I think his sister's gonna take over as the Black Panther.
No, I know. Like,
sure.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's really. I feel like it's really weird. Like, I wonder how that's gonna play with like people who are really like into the like him being a guy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the Marvel universe is weird because like it's kind of been going on for a long time, and like people are getting older. Like Mark Ruffalo looks like really old in the She-Hulk series, like geriatric. He's not long for this world. Like he's looking dusty.
Like I don't know. I think they should have done like actually like a full like reset after Endgame or Endgame was the second one. I think they should have just done like a full reset and it's just like been like a new universe. Because like it doesn't make
all of Phase 4 has just been a total joke. I don't know if there's been a single good Phase 4 thing.
It doesn't make like
I tried watching that Werewolf by Night. and like I fell asleep.
What? Werewolf by Night. What's
I don't
that?
know. Like I was waiting for it to get good.
What's that?
It's like the new it's like the new Halloween special Marvel came out with on Disney Plus. People seem to like it a
the
lot.
werewolf?
Like people have been raving about it.
Who's a werewolf?
There's a werewolf in it. I didn't get to that. I watched it for like a long time, I feel like, and then I just eventually fell asleep. I'm like, is there gonna be a werewolf? Like, it wasn't that good. I don't know. I was just kind of like, why does everyone think this is so good? Maybe it gets really good towards the end or like halfway through or something, because it's all in black and white.
It's probably trash the whole way.
Yeah,
I'm calling it.
Maybe I'll give it another shot, but I'm into spooky stuff. Like, it's spook season, so I'm trying to watch like anything that gets me in that vibe. Watched the new Halloween movie. That wasn't good. That was bad.
There's another new one
on Peacock. Yeah, they just came out with it. It's Halloween Ends. It's the last one in the David Gordon Green Halloween series, the trilogy.
Didn't the other one come out last year, or was that 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, it came out last year.
I think it was it was last year.
Man, they're really churning those out.
I think they might have shot them all back to back. I don't know. Danny McBride is like a producer on them too. He's like a writer producer.
That's funny.
Yeah, and
with him being involved, you would think it would actually be funny.
Well, that was the problem with the first two. They were like filled with like Marvel humor. It was terrible.
No, that's what I'm saying. You would think it would actually be funny because like they were trying to be funny.
Oh, actually be funny.
Right. Because he's funny.
Well, yeah, I think it's just it's a tone issue. Like, in the right format or in the right movie, those jokes might have been funny, but it's like you're trying to watch this to get like a spooky Michael Myers vibe, and it's like constantly cutting through that and killing the energy.
Yeah, I don't know if those jokes would have been funny in anything. I mean, maybe I'm.
No, I'm being generous. You're right. They're terrible, but I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of.
You're trying,
what
like
happened
like mentally,
exactly.
Yeah, you're trying to cope with it. You're trying to get a big.
Yeah, I'm trying to cope with it.
Trying to get a big dose of that copium.
Halloween Kills was the worst one. I think the first one. I think it was just called. Was it just called Halloween?
I think it was just called Halloween.
Can't remember.
I think it was just called Halloween. So it's Halloween Kills,
yeah,
and
and
Halloween Ends.
Yeah.
But doesn't Halloween end every year?
Well, this one is like, it really ends hard this time.
This is the last Halloween.
It's like, yeah, the last one wasn't very good, but yeah, Halloween Kills was the worst one for sure. That one had like the most jokes and the most like ridiculous shit.
Didn't they like beat him to death? Like the whole town, didn't they like beat him to death like in the second one?
At the end of the second one, they all team up on him and beat him really bad, but then he kind of like wakes back up and just murders everybody all at once. That's like the end.
He murders everybody in the town? Like everybody?
Yeah, basically.
Wait,
like everyone who is in that like mob.
Wait, what? Are you serious?
He's just Laurie Strode does a little monologue about how he's evil incarnate.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Evil never dies. And then, we think he's down for the count, and then he like gets back up and just like there's like a montage of him just like brutally slaying every single person in the mob.
That's trash.
Like it implies that he's like some sort of like mystic force. Like he's so powerful and so evil that like he can't be killed like a normal man.
Right. He's not like he's not.
And then
he's not mortal.
This movie like kind of backtracks that. It's like these movies don't know what they want. Like it's weird because like they're like setting up like, oh, he's just a man at the beginning, and then it sets up to like, oh, he's more than a man. Like he's like an idea or whatever, and he's he's like got special powers basically. Like he takes so many hits in the second one, and then in this third one they're like, no, he's just a man again. Like, he's like wounded and he's like hasn't been around for like 4 years. There's like a 4-year time jump, and he's just been like living in a sewer, and he's like old and rotting away, and it's like, okay, so what is he? It doesn't make any sense. Right. I don't really.
Yeah, and like, why did he like?
think there was
why
any,
did he
like,
wait 4 years to start
plan.
slaying again? That doesn't make any sense. Seems like his favorite thing.
Yeah.
It seems like his favorite thing to do.
The most, like 80% of the movie is about a different character who like takes on the mantle of Michael Myers.
Oh.
And then at the end, basically Michael comes back and becomes Michael again, but it's like too little, too late.
That sounds like trash.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I think most people don't really like it. I think a lot of people I've watched, like they think Kills is better because it has obviously more kills and more Michael. Like I think it's got the most kills out of any Michael Myers movie. Period.
Kills?
But I just can't stand like the humor and the jokes and all like the side all like the little cutesy side characters.
Well, and
like,
the cinematography.
it was so weird because this movie didn't have any of that. Like Halloween Kills like was very straight. It was, but it had like a worse story. It was so the movies are so
and the
unbalanced.
cinematography
I
and
don't
like
get it.
the editing of the second one was just like awful.
I like the cinematography. Like I think they captured the Halloween vibe from the first John Carpenter film. Like
In the second
kind of
one?
color palette and
In the second one,
I have to watch the second one again.
I don't know. I'm not really.
At least
I'm not,
I know in the first one I felt like they nailed the look of the film was nailed in the first one.
I'm definitely not.
and in this new one too. Like visually, I don't really have any complaints. You know, it's more just like the story and the script and stuff.
The editing is better in this one. The editing was really painful.
yeah,
in the second one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the first one's the best, and then it's Kills, and then it's Ends, and then it's Kills. That's my list, but none of them are very good.
That's the power ranking.
But you know, I like to, yeah, I like the Michael Myers. I like the slasher movies. Like I kind of want to start watching like all of them. Like just watch every single Friday the 13th like back to back.
back to back
Jason
to
Voorhees.
back.
Cause,
Get them back to
none of
back.
them are very good.
This
but,
is so
you know,
bizarre. Like
I just want to get in that spooky Halloween mood.
Audacity says we've been recording for an hour, but the other thing says half an hour. Why does it say half an hour? That's so weird.
Huh.
It's time.
Is it like Frozen?
No, it's like it keeps updating the time. Wow, but we blew through the first episode.